Two-man game, TMG, get the news fast, AMG, game of two boxes. Name two boxers that hit as hard as this. Yeah, we're cutting to the truth, no there ain't no narrative. Eyes up on the cup this year, hear the stadium erupt this year. For my team, TMG.
YouTube, just delete it. Alright, cool. It's recording, innit? Yeah. Do you want to double check? Real quick, just in case, bro.
Let me see. Should be fine.
Yeah, just come across just in case.
Yeah, that's calm.
Yeah?
Yeah, love.
No problem. And that's on as well, so you're good there. When you guys are done, if I'm not back when you guys are done, you guys can just go, innit? It's cool.
Right.
Just probably come and hit spacebar.
Yeah.
To stop recording on that. And that's it.
Alright, spacebar. I don't know. Cool.
Cool. Say more. Wait. So, welcome to the Two-Man Game podcast. It's two peas in a pod today. Episode 72. TMG. You know, we've been working on something special, you know. This is why, you know, this episode might be a bit solemn, analytical in the detail, because we have something in the works coming out soon. So
We do.
Make sure you get ready. You know, it's a big one. We're gonna really promote it and be there, you know, in honor of a special season. So be ready for that. But today, the day before the Dylan White Tyson Fury fight. So I don't know when this episode will come out. I don't know when this episode will come out retrospectively, but after the fact. But we'll give our opinions on the fight and what will happen and what could happen, as one of our TMG members, Mello, is actually going to be a live correspondent on the day.
So I go to fights. I'm there. I was there at Amir Khan, Brook fight. I was there. AJ Usyk. I was there for at least 3 or 4 of Elliot Wells fights. I'm going to be there for Arnold, up and coming boxer from around the way in Tamo. Friends with one of our guests, Yomi Weiss. I want to be there for his fights. Expect big things from him at cruiserweight. 1-0 so far, 1 KO. So if he can rise through the ranks quickly, I believe he's signed by Frank Warren. So not bad at all. You know, I'm trying to go to all the major events. You know, went to see John Moran in the flesh against KD.
You went to see him
in the flesh. Next up, maybe next season, catch me at a playoff game. But a big one, guys, and you guys to really push. This is why I need you guys to push TMG, because, you know, your boy Mello, and hopefully Jay can join me. We're trying to go see Spence Crawford back end of this year, live. Hopefully on a media pass. But we need a big push from you guys.
Mello has been dreaming of this. This is his dream.
Yes.
Wherever it is, hopefully Vegas. Give him the media pass. Obviously, you know, back end of the year, tight for me. So it might have to be a Mello thing. But if I can cope, I'll be there, fam. Vegas, Big 25. It's the place to be, isn't it? If they even set up for this year, because you never know.
They said they've been negotiating before the Ugos fight happened, and you know they said it's likely to be back end of this year. Just a bit losses, you know, as long as things go well, it could be back end of this year, it could be early next year. I mean, that's the next fight to be made. I don't know if Crawford wants to have a fight in between, because he last fought in like November-ish time, so he might feel a bit rusty. It might be a year since he's fought. So, but then again, over the last couple of years, Crawford's fought more than Spence has, so it could even itself out. But that's the biggest fight in sports. So the best fight in sports to be made. Not necessarily the biggest. I still think AJ Fury will do more numbers and stuff like that.
It's all dependent on it.
Maybe even Canelo Golovkin, even the third one, maybe do.
No, I don't think Canelo's the cash cow, but Golovkin is a bit past it.
The pay-per-view. You know,
yeah.
Actually, I tell that I shouldn't do, because, you know, we've been waiting for this so much. This is our version of, you know, Mayweather Pacquiao.
It's not.
Like, it's in terms of, like, you know,
they haven't delayed it. How many years has it been delayed?
No, it's our version in terms of the two best pound for pound, pretty much. That within the similar weight class fighting. I mean, the next.
Is he bigger than Fury, AJ?
It's a better fight.
It might be a better fight. Is it bigger?
It won't do bigger, because few inches heavyweights, but it's the best fight to be made. That's the other version of Mayweather and Pacquiao. It's our, like they said, Phoenix Trinidad. I think Oscar De La Hoya, Hearns, Leonard. I mean, there you got 2 top 5 pound for pound fighters at their best, still undefeated. 50-55. I mean, Canelo, the other top 5 guys: Canelo, Usyk, Inoue, them two, Lomachenko, maybe she's around there, Fury, Josh Taylor, Tank, Shakur. Maybe Tank, Shakur down the line, if they end up being the cream of the crop, can rival that. But I mean, as it stands right now, that's the best fight to be made in boxing in terms of quality. It won't be the biggest, but in terms of best, yeah.
In quality, I can see that. As seen as we were talking about Spence and Crawford, give me your takeaways from the Spence Ugas fight. Seeing as you stayed up, watch that live.
Watch the live, man. I can believe 4 or 5 turns. The key is to nap. I always tell guys, make sure guys in the UK, make sure you nap.
I have to decide, is it playoffs or late 4 a.m. 4 a.m. I'm done. It's been tough. Basketball's been taking over my life.
Like, watching basketball live is, especially the early rounds, it's tough. I mean, boy, you have to, again, if you want to watch it, the late game kickoffs, you have to nap. Or the late tip-off, sorry. I mean, yeah, Spence, 28 and 22 KOs. He stopped you guys in 10th round via doctor's decisions as TK, blah, blah, blah. His eye, I believe it was his right eye, was sore the hell up. I mean, it took Spence a few rounds to get back into the swing of things. He was a bit rusty. But EJ, the boogeyman, as you call him, the truth, the truth will set you free. When he changed the level, changed the gears on Ugas, started making it into an inside fight, inside brawl, his footwork, his foot placement, his guard maneuvering. I mean, his jabs, different versions of his jabs, his touch jabs, doubling up the jab. Just been technically so refined and sound, along with the hard hitting punches to head and body. So I would say this is why he's my favorite boxer. He's literally the best at punch to head and body. You don't know where they're coming from. You know they're coming, but you don't know where they're coming from. And he's so relentless. He's a relentless machine. He gets there on the inside. Boy, inside it looks better on the inside than he's ever looked. Or maybe because Ugas ain't that great on the inside. I don't know, but boy.
Well, talk to me about round 6.
Round 6 was a rookie mistake by him, for sure. To be honest, when I looked at the tape back, the referee did say stop. Well, he definitely mouthed stop, and so when I looked at it back, I understand why you kind of stopped. The referee did say stop.
He didn't count as a knockdown, obviously.
It could have technically, if you want to be harsh, because the ropes held him up, could have been counted as a knockdown. But the ref actually said stop, and then so Spence stopped. But obviously you got to protect yourself at all times, and then they continue to fight and Ugas. But that was Ugas' chance.
But do you not think that the stop for him to find his mouth guard gave Spence time to kind of...
Yeah, it does. However, there's a rule in boxing. When a mouth guard gets knocked out, I was watching, what's his name? Kind of the fight, Teddy Atlas earlier on today. He was saying, when a mouthpiece gets knocked out, the referee can stop it so it can be put back in when there's a low in action. You replace the mouthpiece. So when, I don't know, they're just circling each other, you can then replace it. But if they're inside the pocket, letting their hands go. I can't remember when he stopped if that was the case. Too tough, but I mean, it was kind of borderline, to be fair.
Do you think Ugas was active enough in that round 6? Or
no, that was Ugas' moment. Once he hit him, but I think Ugas was confused. Maybe Ugas held stop as well. But Ugas should have jumped on him like a lion on his hyena prey.
So it's a bit too... He didn't seize the opportunity.
I mean, literally, when you're the underdog, when an opportunity like that reveals itself, you've got to take it with both hands. And that's what he failed to do. I mean, and then even then before that, the first few rounds, he could have potentially, that's when his advantage was at his best. But after the 6th round, 7th, 8th, 9th, and 10th, Spence went up, like I said, another level, another gear. Showed his world class elite pound for pound level difference.
When you take a punch, man, when you've taken a punch, you can go down. You're gonna go into survival mode. You're gonna bring out your best, because man, you've seen it flash before your eyes. I'm sure Spence in that round 6 was like whoa, for a bit, like, oh, you guys is landing a lot. From what I've seen of Spence inside was just so active. At one point, you guys wasn't throwing anything. I don't think he could see. He literally could not see what was coming from his right. So, and at that point, it was just easy prey. I guess I'm very impressed with Spence Spence fights just from the highlights. Obviously, I haven't watched the whole fight back, but I think Crawford is the better fighter.
Crawford's the better boxer. He is, but Spence is the bigger. But Spence is also a very good boxer. Like I said, very technically refined. If you look, his inside fight is amazing. He sets traps. He changes positions. That's why not Crawford. That's why Uga stopped throwing counter punches, because he was afraid. I mean, before at the start of the fight, he was countering his jab a bit. But Spence changed up. He adjusted. Crawford had Crawford. Ugas had no answers, and Spence can do that to other people. So it's like Crawford as well. He can change it up. Crawford has, I guess, he has more range, more dexterity in his skill set. Obviously, when he goes, southpaw to orthodox to southpaw. But yeah, at the end of the day, I mean, it's just 50-50 fight. At this point in time, I still lead to Crawford. Not still, I give Crawford the edge after all Spence has been through. I don't know if his resistance is still the same. He resisted a lot against Ugas, but if that was Crawford has more sharper punches. It seems more powerful punches, because he's knocked out everyone or stopped everyone. He's fought at well, so his power just carried through. I mean, so we will see. I mean, they should do a 2-fight though. Of
course, they will always do. Just for the fact that one fight you lose, you're always gonna want to avenge it. It's just settle it for real. 2, as you say, there's always rematches. Because I'm sure that if they fight, it'll go to a decision. I'm pretty sure.
You never know.
I think it'll go to a decision.
Could be a split decision. Someone could get knocked out. You never know, man.
The knockout, I don't.
Someone gets stopped.
I don't know.
Because they both have incredibly high knockout ratios.
But in these fights, people become very cagey. They
do, and it's true. I mean, when you fight the absolute best, they will leave everything on the line, and then resistance is a bit higher than everyone else's. But I mean, it depends on what type of fight they want to make it. What I would say, I was watching the Paul Way podcast. Shout out to them. One of the guys there, I can't remember his name, but he said that it's definitely not going to be the same as the Mayweather Pacquiao fight, because these guys are still in their primes. So, and it's going to be fights to be interesting. It's going to be one you can't afford to miss. I mean, but the knockout could happen. It depends. I mean, I feel they want to be defensively responsible, and maybe try to win on points. We'll see.
I reckon it'll be a more defensively responsible fight. In this undisputed fight, to lose your crown, you don't want to end it on a knockout. You want to, at least it would come down to boxing nous, a bit like how AJ was trying to fight Usyk. That was the wrong way, but these fighters can fight that. It's a nice day. They're gonna box. They're not gonna be a brawl.
Hey, if Crawford allows it to be a brawl, that's in Spence's favour. If Spence allows Crawford to box the outside and not be able to cut off the ring, even though he's very good at cutting off the ring, if he allows it to be a boxing match, then it's in slightly in Crawford's favour. But the thing is, they can both do both sides. They can both box and punch. I mean,
who's the A side?
The A side. I mean, for when it goes, they should make it as 50-50 as possible.
50-50.
Crawford doesn't like to be disrespected, and that's what
Spence
in the build-up.
Spence will be the A side. He's got more of the belts.
But yeah, Spence. I mean, for being, all reality, Spence is the A side. Got more of the belts. He does better numbers of pay-per-views. He sells out more tickets. Crawford, the only thing Crawford has, his legendary status is a bit high. It's higher than Spence because he's a free world champion. But even then, you could argue Crawford's Spence's resume is still better. So what we'll see. Especially the welterweight division is so stacked.
What boxers have they both fought?
Brooke, Coulter. I think that's it.
Who was more impressive in the book fight between Crawford and
Crawford stopped him earlier, but Spence fought Brooke at his second best. Golovkin took a bit out of Brooke. That's when Brooke was at his best. Undefeated fighter. Spence got him straight after. But yeah, the version of Brooke that Crawford fought was a shell of himself. And he was able to rebuild himself again for Kama Khan's on a completely different level, lower level than Crawford and Spence. Coulter, Spence beat him first again. That was a split decision. He had a knockdown, I believe, in the 11th or 10th that edged it. But on the cards, I feel Spence won. But some people thought Porter did that, because I feel Porter done. Spence allowed Porter to do a lot better than people anticipated, because Spence made it a brawl, which is a Porter type of fight. he shouldn't have done that. But he wanted to prove to Port that they had a bit of bravado, a bit of back and forth. He wanted to just out will him, which is what he did. That's gonna happen in this fight. These guys, they have a rivalry. Obviously, they want to be the best, and they want to prove they're stronger, and they're very competitive. So this could, that's what I say, it could end up being a brawl. Me and you in the middle of the ring, because there'll be moments. Me and you in the middle of the ring, who's the better man?
Yeah, that happens.
But even just on the fight, I mean, Spence 216 punches to Ugas is 96, power punches 192 to 77.
Ugas is a defensive fighter. It's the way he fought Pacquiao, to be honest.
Yeah,
in fact, is a counter kind of puncher.
He's a counter puncher, but Spence is so relentless. He doesn't really leave that many opportunities to be countered, and if he does, he adjusts quickly. Body punch 65 to 18, that's triple. And those body, I'm telling you, that's commitment to the body. I mean, like I said, with AJ landed 10 more body punches to fight could be completely different against Usyk. But
Well,
Spence,
he's not gonna fight. When is this AJ Usyk? Speaking of it, when is AJ Usyk?
July 23rd, I think.
Oh, but is it?
That's the date they have. They have no venue yet, but that's the date they have marked down. So we'll see. But
Doubt it happens.
yeah, Spence. He looks pretty much as good as he's ever looked at. I just want to see. I just don't know if he gets tested, if he'll still be the same level.
Do you think the eye injury has taken a bit off him? I spoke to Selassie. He was saying that the eye injury is still taking, maybe have taken years off him, but so later.
It may show in the Crawford fight, and it may show the remnants of the car crash. I mean, it could go both ways, but the way I look at it, the car crash and eye injury is probably taking a few percentage points off Spence. Like, I feel Spence, his capacity, max capacity now is 95. I don't think it's 100, maybe 90. I just don't think he can get back to what he was, because he's always been through. But then again, if you can take that, then like he said in his build up to fight, then no man can stop him.
It's a big fight, because I saw ESPN even talking about it on First Take. They normally don't even talk boxing.
You don't talk boxing that much unless it's a massive fight.
Yeah, unless it's Kellerman. Kellerman talks boxing about.
Kevin does Max and boxing. I need to see on the show he does with Keyshawn and
Jay Will.
I just see they touched on it there, but I mean, flipping Shannon and Figure ain't talked to it yet. I don't think.
Nah, I only talk big fights or Fox fights.
They spoke a bit on few. Oh, there's 3 wider Fox fight, but that is a Fox fight.
Hey man, maybe they don't have